The Reds are in contact with Eintracht Frankfurt via their extraordinary player. According to journalist Florian Plettenberg, Liverpool contacted Eintracht Frankfurt about the possibility of signing Jesper Lindstrom this summer. Plettenberg claimed that both Liverpool and Arsenal were very interested in the Danish international. Liverpool is very interested, said the journalist. Lindstrom, besides Arsenal, understand that both clubs are in contact with Frankfurt regarding a transfer in the summer. Eintracht bosses open up to let him go. Price expectation €50 million. Realistically 35 to 40 million euros. Poker has started, he said. On a day when Liverpool were reportedly high on Chelsea's Conor Gallagher shortlist, that's slightly better news. Some Reds fans won't be particularly impressed with the links to Lindstrom. But he is a beautiful and cute football player. Frankfurt teammate Kevin Trapp recently described him as outstanding. There is something absolutely sublime in the way the 23-year-old moves on the field. Highly technical and perfectly balanced, Lindstrom is a bit of a throwback to when footballers were a little more individualistic. As such, he is definitely an interesting player of interest to Liverpool. Not exactly a midfielder, not quite a forward, Jürgen Klopp really has no place for Lindstrom. If there's a role he can fill, perhaps he could be Roberto Firmino's successor. But Klopp seems to have booked Cody Gakpo for the role, and he's been doing it well so far. Still, we'd love to see what Lindstrom can bring. Between Liverpool and Arsenal, it's a much closer battle than it was a year or two ago. While the Gunners promise Champions League football, Liverpool likely won't. But as it turns out, the Reds may still have a trump card in this fight. Because Lindstrom is actually a Liverpool fan. I've always said I've been a Liverpool fan, so it could be really great to play for Liverpool at some point, he reportedly said. Reds are linked to moves for Napoli star Kim Min-jae. Liverpool are believed to be very interested in signing informed Napoli centre-back Kim Min-jae in the summer transfer window, according to a new report. The 26-year-old is having a treasured season for his current club as they are on the verge of a historic first Serie A title since 1990. He has been an absolute rock at the heart of Napoli's defense, starting 26 league games and averaging 2.8 aerial duel wins per game in competition. In his current form, Kim is arguably one of the best defenders in the world. His compatriot Park Ji-sung describes him as an extraordinary football player and someone who is at the peak of his powers. While he appears to be happy at Napoli at the moment, there may be a lot of interest in him at the end of the season, and that's where Liverpool comes in. According to Footmercato, Kim's future is now being prepared, ahead of what could be an auction for his services this summer. Liverpool are very interested in signing the South Korean, with Paris Saint-Germain touted as potential suitors. The Reds are having a bad season at the moment, and their defensive woes came to the fore again as they lost 4-1 away to Manchester City in the Premier League on Saturday. Neither Virgil van Dijk nor Ibrahima Konate performed as expected. Given the prospect of Joel Matip and Joe Gomez splitting up over the summer, someone who can push for regular starts is absolutely essential. And Kim can be a great signature. The 26-year-old South Korean player has been a key reason for Napoli's brutal genius this season. He drew attention with his defensive resistance, quality on the ball and versatile play. He averaged 3.9 gaps per game in both Serie A and the Champions League, with a striking 90% pass completion rate in the league. Van Dijk is somewhat ineffective at the moment and remains an influential Liverpool player, although he does not appear to be what he once was. But for the Dutchman, who in the 2020-2021 season will never reach the level he had before his cruciate ligament injury, it is vital to bring in a long-term elite backup. Bundesliga correspondent announced that he heard about Bellingham and Liverpool from Dortmund. Rumors that Liverpool have bid for Borussia Dortmund's consideration of Jude Bellingham appear to be far-reaching. Christian Falk has made it clear that the Reds continue to have concrete talks with the midfielder's father no matter what. The main focus is still on Liverpool. There were rumors that Liverpool had made an offer to Dortmund for Jude Bellingham, but I have heard that no such offer has reached the club at the moment, said. But there is a reason for that. There are very concrete conversations between Bellingham's father Mark and Liverpool, but right now neither side is together when talking about money. Liverpool will first make an offer when they have signed with the midfielder's father, he said. The Merseysiders are thought to be particularly keen to add to their midfield ranks this summer, and there are currently 3 options that are likely to leave once their contracts expire. James Milner was the trio most likely to stay, given Jürgen Klopp's clear fondness for the veteran and his experience, but the inconsistency of Jordan Henderson and Fabinho will put more pressure on the recruiting team. Bellingham is seen as the obvious solution to meet all the needs in the middle of the park with its distinctive features. Density, ability to regain ownership, innovation, and defensive bulwark. In addition, its dynamism and dribbling with the ball are very important criteria. The Reds' midfield problem this season was quite noticeable, and the same problems have continued since the beginning of the season. Much to the performance of the midfielders in the defensive role, the Liverpool midfield collapsed. A good build is wanted to be built next season, and Jude Bellingham will be the main factor in this build. One of the features that attracts Klopp is that he plays multiple roles in the midfield. Moreover, he is only 19 years old and managed to get regular minutes in his national team. With Klopp, he can rise to a whole new level. Liverpool are keen on Conor Gallagher, who plays for Chelsea. Liverpool are looking to sign 23-year-old Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher ahead of next season. According to a report by The Independent, Liverpool are interested in hiring the services of Conor Gallagher. The Merseyside club needs a major overhaul at the centre of the park and has its eyes on Chelsea's 23-year-old player. Gallagher has been part of the Chelsea setup since 2008. He started in the youth academy and gradually moved up the ranks. The England national team player has suffered multiple loan moves to gain first-team experience. His loan spell at Crystal Palace in the 2021-2022 season was his breakthrough moment. The 23-year-old has produced consistent performances for the Eagles. And after that, he was promoted to their first team. While there were numerous clubs after his services, the Blues decided to make him an integral part of their first team. Gallagher appeared in 33 games for the Blues over the next season. In his first season in the first team, he became one of the most reliable players. The 23-year-old's contract with the club runs until the summer of 2025. However, there is a possibility that he will leave in the summer due to the interest in his services as well as pressure from Chelsea to balance his books. The Blues have spent a fortune acquiring new players since their new owners arrived. And it will have to unload quite a few players to meet the financial fair play requirement. Even though they see Gallagher as an essential part of their setup, they can still sell it if the right offer comes along. Meanwhile, the Merseyside club looking for a midfield overhaul has turned its attention to the English player. Jürgen Klopp wants Gallagher to be at the club ahead of next season. The midfielders were inconsistent the following season, a major reason for their disappointing run. Klopp is looking for a midfield upgrade and believes the 23-year-old's arrival could bring the energy and qualities missing from their roster in the current campaign. There are other clubs that are looking for signatures. While Liverpool are keen to take England into the international arena, it will be interesting to see if they are willing to let the Blues join a rival club.